Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Lewis back once again with another NGPF lesson. We are still in the checking unit. This is the full year course, and right now we are on lesson 1.3, classic checking skills. So let's go ahead and get into this. Learning objectives. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to practice writing a check, and yes, you will be doing that. You're going to learn how to complete a check register and why it's important for understanding your cash flows. You're also going to understand how to balance and reconcile your checkbook and how doing so helps protect your money. The approximate time for this lesson is 70 minutes. I think they are underestimating how long this lesson would take, but look, we're gonna go and see how long this video takes. That's how long the lesson's gonna be. Let us continue. So, discussion prompts. So we're going to start off this lesson with a discussion. You and your partner are going to discuss these following questions on the next slide. So it says here that online banking is relatively new. In 1994, only 100,000 households were using online banking. And by 2001, that number had increased to 19 million US homes. So the first question to discuss amongst yourselves is, what aspects of managing your account were probably more difficult before online banking was available? Go ahead, discuss that among yourselves. And then the second question is, how do you think people kept track of how much money was in their account on any given day? Remember, we're talking about 1994. Only 100,000 households had online banking. So how do you think they kept track of how much money was in their account every day? If you have class with me, then you have this student activity packet, and it says estimated time 5 minutes. So take 5 minutes, and after you've discussed it with your partner or with another classmate, write down your responses here where it says my answer. You'll answer the first question. Again, this is your response. There's no right or wrong answer, but what aspects of managing your account were probably more difficult before online banking was available, and how do you think people kept track of how much money was in their account on any given day? Write your answers in these spaces, and that's how you will complete the first activity for this unit. 5 minutes. Once you're done, there are these essential questions. You do not have to answer these now. You do not have to answer these questions. If you're taking class with me, you will answer these questions at the end of the unit. If not, these are just questions you need to keep in the back of your mind. So the first question is, how do I conduct basic checking account skills such as writing, depositing a check, using an ATM or debit card, and managing my account? The second one is, why is it worthwhile to maintain a check register and balance and or reconcile my account regularly? You'll see that this is way down at the bottom, right before the exit ticket. I've added these essential questions, so right before we end the unit, you should be able to answer these questions, provided that you were paying attention throughout the entire unit and you were answering all the questions throughout. By the time you get to this point, this should be very easy. You should be able to answer this quickly, and then you will do the exit ticket, which is that quiz. If you remember, if you had my class and you remember it last unit, you had that quiz. Another one will be just like that at the end of this unit. Interactive check writing. Use this online interactive to practice writing a check. Then briefly write down any questions you still have about check writing. So here's the website where you will be clicking on. There's a link to it in your student packet. To go to this website, and you will be writing your own check. And for right now, we will go ahead and do that. So let me see, let me make sure I have it open. So this is your student activity packet here, interactive check writing. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this link, and we are going to do this together. You should be following along on your own computers. So here it says interactive check writing. Weird but true, writing a check isn't as easy as you think. Okay, you're about to write your first check and don't have a clue what to do. Do you know why putting the date on the check is important? Do you know who the maker is? Do you know why writing to the left is so important? Do you know why you must write the amount in numbers and in words? Right now we're going to learn with our interactive check writing program. Follow along, make sure you know how to do this. So, how to write a check. Here is what we are going to do. Number one, first we're going to teach you a bit about checks. Number two, next we'll give you some examples. And then three, finally you're going to write some checks yourselves. During this check write lesson, assume your name is I.B. Kuehl. Huh? What? Okay, whatever. And assume you also signed I.B. Kuehl on the check card when you opened your checking account. Are you ready for it? Let's go. Okay, there we go. In this first example, we'll show you how to pay $154.74 for a 2-night stay at the Lakeside Inn using a check. So first thing, it says enter today's date. That's this right here. Number two, fill in the payee, the Lakeside Inn. Also draw a line after the payee information so that no additional payees can be added to the check. So you cannot, by putting this line, you cannot put in the Lakeside Inn and Mr. Lewis. You have to keep it just Lakeside Inn. Let's move on. The amount in dollars, $154.74. Do this as close to the dollar sign as possible, which prevents somebody from adding extra numbers right here before the 1. Then you're going to write out the dollar amount in words. 154 and 74 out of 100, 74 out of $100, which is 74 cents. Draw a line from the end of the amount to dollars, which makes it hard for anyone to change the dollar amount. So once again, this line won't allow me to add extra money. For spring break, the reason why you're doing this check, and then your signature. So we'll do this first one together. Afterwards, I'm going to let you do these on your own. But yeah, let's just do this first one together. So it says enter today's date, Post-dating a check, writing a date in the future won't prevent the check from being cashed today. So today is the 26th, 09, 26, 2022. Next, fill into the payee. We're going to fill in Hillary Cheney and then draw a line after the payee so that no additional payees can be added to the check. Next, 1995, 19.95. That prevents, do it as close to this dollar sign as possible. 19 and 95 100ths. 19 and 95 100. And then another line to the end, making it harder for anyone to change the dollar amount. And then for newsletter subscription, and then we're going to sign that check and then hit the word submit, and it's now sent to the bank. So it says that we've shown you how to do it. From here on, you're on your own. Go ahead and click on continue. Is this working? Whoa. Let's go back a second. There we go. Okay, so after you finish that one, you will be doing assignment 1. You will be doing these on your own. If you're in class with me, I'll be walking around the classroom making sure that you are able to do this part right here. Assignment 1, write a check so that anyone can cash it. The check will be for $1,024.56. Have today's date. The purpose of the check is to purchase 5 video games. You're going to write the check to cash, paid to the order of cash, and then you'll submit at the end of this. So you go ahead, take some time, work on that. When you're finished, we'll go back into the rest of the presentation and we will move forward with this unit. Once you have finished that activity, right here it says questions I still have about check writing. You must write down at least one. You must have at least some question after doing that activity. And if you don't have any questions, I presume you know every single step about how to write a check, and you should be able to pass with absolutely no problem when you get to that exit ticket and the test at the end of this unit. If not, ask those questions here and now. Questions I still have about check writing. That's activity number 2 once you finish that online interactive practice. Next, what's a check register and why do I care? Even though your bank account likely posts all transactions online, it's a good idea to keep a manual check register too. Read on to find out what this is and how it works, then answer the questions. There are 6 questions, and yes, you will be answering them. Number 1, what is a check register? Number 2, where do you get a check register? Number 3, why would you want to use a check register? Number 4, how often should you update your check register? Number 5, how do you use complete check register? I would assume, how do you complete a check register? Anyways. And number 6, now that you know all there is to know about check registers, are you likely to use one to manage your account? And you also have to answer this part. Why or why not? Yes or no questions are not enough for this section. Or yes or no answers. So we're going to go to this website right here, The Balance, and the article title is Where to Find Free Check Registers and How to Use Them. So let us go back into our student packet. And this link right here takes you to thebalancemoney.com, where to find free check registers and how to use them. Free check register templates and instructions by Justin Pritchard, updated April 5th, 2022, reviewed by Michael J. Boyle, fact-checked by Aaron Johnson. A check register helps you keep a personal record of your checking account. This allows you to see and continually update your account balance, any withdrawals from or deposits to your account, and transactions that have not yet hit your account. Even if you trust your bank, it's wise to keep your own records because you might be better informed than your bank about upcoming transactions. Key takeaways. A check register can take many forms, but it is always a ledger used to record your bank transactions manually. You may receive a check register when you open a checking account, but you can also find one online, download an app, or create your own. The primary purpose of using a check register is to track your account balance, including transactions that might not have posted yet. Using a check register consistently can help you monitor spending, overdraft fees, and catch bank errors. You heard that? That's the thunder outside because there's a tropical storm out in the Gulf of Mexico roughly right about now, so forgive that noise. Anyways, let's continue. What is a check register? This is important. A check register is a list of transactions in your bank account along with a running balance that tells you how much money you have available to spend. You can use paper, apps, or spreadsheets to keep these records. As you spend money or add funds to your account, you update the list. It's also best to compare your register with your bank records periodically. Check registers usually accompany every order of checks and typically have several columns or fields that allow you to track your transactions and balances. Check registers can also be electronic or homemade, which allows you to customize your system and track your account without buying new registers. How to obtain a check register. If you didn't receive a check register with your checkbooks and would like one, you have several options, some of which are free. You can download a free template for Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. You can order a new register from an online check printer or your bank. You can buy a register from an office supply store. You could grab a check register from the back of an old checkbook. Or you can build a simple register in your favorite design or spreadsheet tool. Print or create your own register. Paper checkbook registers have worked for years, and some people prefer to record this information by hand. You can also print a basic register that is available online. Tip: designing your own register on paper or spreadsheet is fairly easy and can be customized to fit your needs, such as size, format, and column heads. To make a check register, create a document with the following columns across the top. If that gets too loud, I'm going to just go ahead and film later, but we're going to continue for now. Checkbox, check items that have cleared your bank. Check number or category, record of check numbers. Date, description, helpful notes about a transaction. Payment and or debit, fees, payments, fees, and withdrawals. Deposit and or credit, deposits and interest. And then your balance, your current account balance after a transaction. Why use a check register? A check register helps you stay on top of transactions in your account. Even if you check your account balance online, your available balance might give you misleading information. Banks sometimes make mistakes, and you also might occasionally forget about transactions. Your check register will help you identify bank mistakes. These are rarely in your favor and should be reported as soon as possible. Catch identity theft. If you see something you didn't expect, report it as quickly as possible to get full protection under US law. Avoid bounce checks. These are expensive and create a ripple effect on your finances. Know how much you can afford to spend. You'll know whether you need to transfer money to your checking account to cover expenses. For example, you can avoid overdraft fees by moving funds from your savings account to cover upcoming expenses. Know what you've paid off. Keep track of all your paid debts, the amounts, and the dates in case you need proof of payment. See spending trends. Entering your spending manually forces you to pay attention to what you are spending and make changes if needed. Tip: online account information can be misleading if you've forgotten about outstanding checks or automatic withdrawals. A check register helps you know how much money you really have to spend. When to use your check register. It is important to be diligent about updating your check register with each transaction so it serves as a reliable source of your financial activity. When you write a check or use your debit card, you should record the transaction in your check register immediately. Note, at the very least, save your ATM and debit card receipts and enter those transactions weekly. The more problems you're having with insufficient funds, the more often you need to update your check register. You should also compare your check register to recent bank statements to look for any discrepancies. Also, bank statements show items that may not yet be in your check register, including fees you paid the bank, interest payments from the bank, automatic and/or ACH transactions such as direct deposit of your paycheck, or bills that get paid automatically from your bank account. Check registers help you to keep track of all your transactions to avoid penalties such as overdraft or late fees. They can serve as an accurate record of your financial situation to help you manage your money more efficiently. Frequently asked questions, FAQs. How do you fill out a check register? To begin filling out your check register, record your current balance in the top right-hand column. Record all checks, debits, credits, and deposits in the register. For each transaction, list the check or transaction number, date, description, and debit or credit amount. Add credits and subtract debits, updating your balance on each transaction line. Mark transactions with a check when they clear your bank account. That part is important for another activity we'll be doing soon. Where can I buy a check register? You can buy blank generic check registers from a range of in-person online retailers, including office supply stores, Walmart, and Amazon. You can also order them from the company that refills your checks. That's the end of that article. Now that we've finished that article, you have now 10 minutes to answer these questions. What is a check register? If you need help, you can go and click on the link, which will take you to that very same website I just read, and you can read it for yourself. First question, what is a check register? Second, where do you get a check register? Third, why would you want to use a check register? 4, how often should you update your check register? 5, how do you complete a check register? 6, now that you know all there is to know about check registers, are you likely to use one to manage your account? Why or why not? So take 10 minutes and answer those 6 questions. Why balance your checking account? Now that you know how to complete a check register with your transactions, it's time to learn about balancing and reconciling your account. Skim this article to find answers to the questions. 1. List the steps for balancing your account. 2. List the steps for reconciling your account. 3. Historically, why was it important to balance and reconcile your account? 4. In today's age of online banking, why would it still be useful to balance and reconcile your checking accounts? I should say, why would it still be useful? But somebody messed that up. We are going to go to this website right here. The link is in your student activity packet. So we're going to go to this website, which should help us answer these 4 questions. And let's go to that website right now. So into your student activity packet, once you finish answering these questions, you're going to scroll down here. It's already been pre-filled out, the steps for balancing your account, the steps for reconciling. Why was it important to reconcile your account? Because. And why would it still be useful to balance and reconcile your checking account? Once again, started those answers for you. Let's go and see that article right now. So we are on bankrate.com, and the title article is 6 Smart Reasons to Balance Your Checking Account, written by Karen Bennett, April 21st, 2022, and it should take us 2 minutes to read this. Edited by David Shep. Balancing your checking account may seem like a chore, but tracking your expenses and knowing your available balance can help you spot fraud, avoid overdrafts, and better understand your spending patterns. The process of balancing your account simply involves listing your debits and credits, deposits and withdrawals, and adding them up to determine your balance. It can be done using pen and paper or money management software. Here are 6 reasons why balancing your checking account regularly can help you financially. I'm going to scroll down past here. Number 1, reconciling your checking account. Reconciling your checking account means cross-checking all of the transactions in your own records with those of the bank to ensure they match. It can help you to find any mistakes on your part or that of the bank. Before computers became commonplace, reconciling a checkbook required manual tracking and calculation. But today, banking apps and budgeting software can do all the work, and much more quickly. Apps like Mint or Pocket Money, for example, can help you track transactions and give you a simple dashboard to use when reconciling your account. 2. Fighting fraud. Another reason to balance your checking account is to check for fraud. If you're reconciling your account and there's a difference between the balance you expect to have and the balance your bank says is in your account, it isn't necessarily a mistake made by the bank. If fraudsters have access to your account, they may not immediately drain it. Instead, they could siphon off funds slowly so that you don't notice. Regularly reconciling your account can help you catch these transfers and put a stop to them. 3. Tracking bank fees. You may be hit with bank fees such as regular maintenance fees to out-of-network ATM charges. The way banks report fees on statements can make it hard to keep track of some fees. For instance, your bank may report a $20 withdrawal with a $3 associated fee as a $23 withdrawal. Balancing your checking account helps you see how much you're truly paying to use the account, which may encourage you to change to an account with fewer fees. 4. Keeping track of your spending. Budgeting requires diligence. It involves building a plan based on your spending habits, then tracking your spending to ensure you stay on course. Balancing your checking account helps you to track spending because every transaction must be reviewed, which can help you identify areas where you've overspent and can cut back. Tracking your spending is also important when you write checks. If you write a check for $500, the money stays in your account until the check is cashed, which could take several days or weeks or even longer, depending on who the check was made out to. In the meantime, you might forget about it and you think you have $500 more than you really do. If you spend that money, your account could become overdrawn once the check is cashed. Number 5, catching mistakes made by your bank. Bank errors may be uncommon, but they happen from time to time. Balancing your checking account and monitoring your transactions can help ensure any mistakes are caught and can be fixed. What's more, balancing your account can also help you find and rectify any instances where a merchant has erroneously double charged you or billed you the wrong amount for goods or services. And finally, number 6, staying up to date on automatic payments. Not balancing your checking account regularly can make it easy to forget all of the places your money is going. Reviewing your transactions helps to keep you aware of the things that are impacting your finances and to make changes as you see fit. For instance, you might see recurring charges for things you no longer use, such as gym membership, a streaming service, or a magazine subscription. Identifying such charges and canceling them gives you more money each month for necessary expenses or to build up an emergency fund. And we have a note that freelance writer TJ Porter contributed to a previous version of this article. That's the end of the article. So let's go ahead and get back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, back to the presentation. You are now going to do number 4. You have 10 minutes to do number 4. You have to answer these 4 questions. So after reading that article, which I've just read, why balance your checking account, you will now list the steps for balancing your account based on that article. If you forgot it, either rewind this video or go and check that article for yourself. Number 2, list the steps for reconciling your account. 3, historically, why was it important to balance and reconcile your account? And the last one, in today's age of online banking, why would it still be useful to balance and reconcile your checking account? Take some time, write the answers to those 4 questions. It should take no longer than 10 minutes. We are going to stop here today. I will try to, again, go back to keeping these videos at 30 minutes. So this should be enough to do for one day, between what we've read, what we've been through together. So do numbers 1 through 4, and then we will pick up and continue on the next video. So that's it for this video. It should be a little bit under 30 minutes once it's fully edited. So you should be able to do this during class or for homework, and it will be graded, and then we will continue after we finish question number 4. We're going to start with number 5. We'll turn the whole thing in at the end. That's it for this video. Relatively short, not too bad. Go ahead, finish activities 1 through 4, and number 4, these 4 accounts, turn those in, and I will see you in the next video.